Welcome back to the Krabby Club podcast. I am your host, Random Victory, and today we really don't have an actual topic to talk about. I'm on Anchor, you can't really smack talk people down or talk badly about everyone. And I didn't really talk bad about my movie theater, it was my experiences, and rather just not go back to the theater. It's that easy, But for this, I'm not talking down to people, it's just they're outdated, and also they don't have, even though they know what they're doing, of course they could have popular podcasts, I don't think you always have to follow their rules. So everyone knows Skillshare, Lynda, those places that teach you new skills. I have that because of my online classes. It's called LinkedIn Learning. It's part of Lynda. Well, LinkedIn bought Lynda, or is part of Lynda, whatever. But I have a few things I want to study on here because I have unlimited access to everything to this. So of course, Illustrator, Photoshop, because that's part of my classes. But then there's Premiere Pro, cinematography, creating and managing YouTube, two of them. But then there's producing podcasts. Now, the YouTube ones, they're really outdated. They're not really, they're trying to be funny in one of them, not good. And then they're talking about how to get big, but you're not really big either. Now, not one single person has the answers of becoming successful on YouTube. It just happens. You're either in or out. That's it. People like you, people don't like you. That's how easy I can place it. And then the other one I haven't gone into, but the producing podcast is talking about how to brand your podcast, distribute your podcast, what to do, what to buy. And like in the YouTube one, it's like when you're trying to find a camera for YouTube, they're telling you always use your phone. Yeah, but the thing is, you want good quality. Of course, depending on what your phone is, not everyone has the newest phone. It might be different, of course. So I would say look into other cameras. You don't always have to buy a brand new camera. I just found this like 4K. So a while ago, actually last year, I was looking into a camcorder, looking to upgrade mine. And the thing is, I found a really good deal for one that I took way too long. And it had only been 30 I was about to say 30 hours. 3 hours in the listing. So it was only 3 hours old. It was until I actually looked up in the morning because I was doing some research what camera this was and all this. It was a Panasonic one, I think it was. And it was pretty decent. I'm not going to lie. And then I find out in the morning when I was about to buy it, I was like, it's not new, but it's a good camera. Might as well pick it up. And the thing is, I was reading the one before it. I actually had it was supposed to be like a certain version, but the last number I did one lower for some reason. I wasn't reading the newest version. And the newest version was actually the one that we're selling. That was 4K compatibility onto the camcorder. So I could record 4K at 60 frames, I think. And that was amazing. And the thing is, the offer they took was 85 or 80. I would have done the 90 that they wanted originally. And I missed out on a really good deal. So technically, you don't always have to buy good things. It's just you have to ask them questions like, is there any problems? Like, ask them like, hey, I'm planning to buy the camera, but I want to know if it has any problems I should know about. I'm still gonna buy it, but let me know what kind of problems it could have. Now, if it has like minor problems, like the battery doesn't last that long. It runs out after an hour or two rather than the 5 hours. Then just get the new battery. It's just the battery's getting old, Just replace it. Easy replacement. Done. And the charger's not there. Then there. But then if it's a touchscreen and the touchscreen isn't working, then that's an issue. Because if it's a touchscreen, that's the main thing you're going to be using. most of the time. And you don't want the screen too scratched because then you won't be able to see the video while you're recording out there. While you're at home, you can just plug it in, see the video. You like it, use it. But then for the podcast one, he was saying, and now I've been doing the podcasting thing a while now, more than a while. I would say around 2 years. And I'm not going to say I'm popular. Of course, I did have another podcast for this. It was called Beyond the Zone. It was supposed to be kind of like Krabby Club, but then we changed it to being a TCG related podcast that we're planning to release in a while. We just have to record more episodes so you guys get to listen to it weekly. And the thing is, I used to upload it on SoundCloud. SoundCloud was really good, but the problem was you didn't have unlimited like an Anchor. That's the one issue SoundCloud has. You're allowed to, but only like up to 6 or 5 gigabytes of whatever it is. I forgot how much you're allowed to upload into. You have to buy a membership or a subscription for their services. And that's the issue with people. They don't want to do that when podcasting is so easy now. You can distribute it on YouTube, Facebook, places that allow you free video, but audio only. Anchor does it for you. Literally, it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, they distribute to those locations and other ones. And then, so I went back and I was checking out the old SoundCloud one, and so I only had like 3 to 5 followers on it. Not too big, but my plays in total were up to 500. And I only had, let me remember, it was around 5 or less episodes I had released onto the SoundCloud page. And that was actually pretty decent. And for someone who didn't know what he was doing, it was pretty good. Actually, before Beyond the Zone, it was actually called The Random Show, but I changed it because someone else had it. And Beyond the Zone is actually a makeup brand, but this is a Beyond the Zone, a TCG podcast. So it was completely different. Wow, completely different, you know what I'm saying? So on the producing podcast, let's get back into topic. They were saying for branding, for your logo, use your face. First of all, if you don't want to use your face, don't use your face. Because on Anchor, there are pretty creepy logos they have for other ones. Like this guy's, I'm not going to say, I haven't heard their show, so I can't say it's bad. It's just their logo could have been a little bit better, and it wouldn't have to be a cartoon. It could have just been their normal face. Now, there's good ones and there's bad logos, but it's not always the guy who's running the podcast. It's not their problem. Sometimes they're not the one creating the logo, it's someone else. So technically that graphic designer just did a bad job. And technically I do bad jobs. I'm not gonna lie, I do bad jobs. And my problem is I don't know when I'm doing a good job or a bad job. I second guess myself a lot. So when I'm making things for others, I'm like second guessing myself. Is this really good? Is this really bad? Are they gonna really hate it? That's my issue. And when they were talking about using yourself as branding, the thing is, if you're not making, like, this whole thing is not being recorded with a camera. It's audio only. So technically no one knows what my face is unless they know who Random Victory is or what my other channel Chugito is. So if they don't know who I am, how my face looks like, they don't need my face on the logo. Especially, I don't like using my face on logos. It's just stupid. It's just redundant. It makes you seem narcissist. Like a narcissist. Is that the right word? Loving yourself or whatever it was in the story where that word came from. Whatever. And I don't like doing that. It's just, it works with others. It doesn't work with some other people. Okay, so yeah. So if you want a logo, just come up with something interesting that you think people will enjoy. Just make sure to make it clean, not cluttery. Don't add too much. Make it clean and simple. Sometimes even simple is the best thing. Now, don't make it too simple with the default Anchor logo. Now, for starting out, like you just made the account, yes. But do not place an episode onto it until you fix it, okay? So, and then they were saying, another thing I didn't like is that you have to buy this Audio-Technica microphone, all these other stuff, this soundboard and all. Like, no, you don't need any of that. I don't think they said soundboard, but I know they did say like Audio-Technica. I didn't check the price of the mic, but if I'm right, it's either the $100 one or the really expensive one. And first of all, you're probably wondering, well, aren't you using that? No. Technically, I could use my $300 mic, but my laptop is a Chromebook and it doesn't run .exe files. So that's the one problem I have with it. But I use this plug-in USB mic. It's a fine microphone. It's a $21 microphone I bought off of Amazon. And I actually have a few other products. And they're actually really good. If you enjoy this microphone, it's only $21. You can upgrade. Of course, they have one that looks a lot like the Blue Yeti. Haven't tested it out, so I can't really say if it's any good or any bad. But if I'm comparing it to this is already good enough. I have a pop filter on it. I'm in an enclosed room, so technically it sounds pretty decent. I mean, I don't like my own voice, so I don't know about that. So I don't know if you guys like it. I mean, you guys may like it. I don't like it, but not the price of the mic. I just don't really like my voice for some reason. So they were talking about that. Like, you have to spend so much money on these things. No, you don't. Anchor is an app. So just a plug-in mic towards your phone would work just fine. It's an app that allows you to record, invite guests, and it does everything for you. Or you can do it like me. This is a way harder way. Technically, I could use my desktop, but that's not in a closed room. In this one, I bring in my laptop, I go into a closet, I set up the mic, plug it in, use this recording app called Easy Voice Recorder. Literally just name it, start recording, that's it. And it's really easy. And then I take out the file, put it on an external hard drive, take it to my PC, and start editing. And I think that's really easy. But for this guy, he's like, oh, you have to invest in all these things and all that. Like, you don't really need to. Now, this does have an upgraded version, a 99-cent one that allows you to cut and do all these different things. But I think the Anchor app allows you to do that. And allows you to add music manually. So you really don't have to do all the things that this guy tells you to do. Like, oh, get this editing software, Audacity is free. Last time I checked, unless there's a paid version. I don't know if there is, so don't quote me on that. I've never used it personally, just because, I don't know, didn't feel like it. I just used OBS whenever I recorded something. I didn't record an audio file and then a video file, because once I did that once, and it screwed up. I was having so much bad luck that day. Everything wasn't matching. It was really bad. Even though I got everything perfectly, they still weren't matching. I was like, nah, screw this. Show's over. That's why usually my series never go past episode 4. Technically, most of my series don't even go past episode 10. I go to episode 4 and then I skip episode 5 and go to 6. I noticed that in some videos that for some reason episode 5 was missing. And I don't know why. All of a sudden, I guess I miscounted. Or I had one too many videos in the same file. And yeah, that's my problem. But so this guy also says to use this website called I forgot what the name was. And I'm not going to sponsor it because just use Anchor. Literally, Anchor's your friend. They're really good people. And they answered answer all your questions. They're really nice. I personally asked them a few, and they were like really nice to answer. And of course, everyone knows that no one reads the terms of services. So I'm glad they were allowed me to ask all these questions that were repetitive, but they answered it clearer and simpler for an idiot like me. So I really enjoyed that. And he was saying, oh, use this, and then you need to pay a subscription. First of all, don't pay for a subscription. Use Anchor. I know I'm saying, like, use Anchor, but Anchor's your friend. You don't think I'm using Anchor because I enjoy it. And they did so much to become one of the greatest things out there. In the past, it was only able to record up to 10 to 15 minutes or upload 10 to 15 minutes or something around there. Now you're being able to upload really long podcasts, and it's really fun and very enjoyable for everyone. It's easy, it's manageable, it's a good program, a good website, a good app. And he's saying, pay for a subscription, don't pay for a subscription. And then he's like, oh, then you have to do RSS or whatever that thing. I don't know what that is. I guess it's important. And a few other things. I forgot what I was going to say in the last part. I know it kind of made me angry. Because he said, oh, then you have to pay for another subscription. No. The only thing you would have to pay would be for the mic. If you're not using a mic and using your phone, then technically you just made a free podcast. And he also, it was that the podcast you want to make variety. You want to do this, you want to do, yes, that's true. But if you're passionate about this, you just want to put your mind out there, then you're not thinking of making it big, then just do it. Do what you love, do what you like. Don't let other people tell you, hey, you have to stick with this, you have to stick with that. I know I said that to a few people, but that's my issue, because I know on YouTube I did on Random Victory's whole thing was supposed to be I did random things. So you would see from trailers, from parodies, from commercials, and all other things to gaming openings, all these different things, but they didn't work out. My Pokemon openings were more popular than my Let's Plays. Some of my Let's Plays still have 0 views compared to others. And yeah, one of my Let's Plays has 0 views in the past 2 years. No one has watched it. Yeah, but some of my openings have a ton of views. Always got views, but I never got views when I uploaded a Let's Play. So that's why I try to convince them to stick to a main thing. On my other channel, Chuyito, I do the same thing, vlogs, flipping it. They're around the same format, video vlogging style-ish. I don't like the whole putting my face to a camera. That's just stupid. I'd rather be recording other people doing fun stuff than me doing dumb stuff. It's just not enjoyable. Now, if it's just me doing the intro and then cutting myself at the end, not putting my face every time I'm like reviewing something, then it's fine. But I mean, I guess I just dissed vloggers, but some of them do it good, some of them do it really bad. But that's my issue. And yeah, I guess that's it. I know this podcast, this episode was different, and I know this episode is going to come out later, after the other two, because it's technically episode 10. So I want to ask you a few questions for anyone that does listen or wants to. I know a lot of people don't watch this. I don't have a large audience. I want to ask, which kind of podcast would you like to listen to? Like, I know a lot of people listen to the interview ones. I know I'm still new at this, so I'm trying to get better. I want to do more interviews, ask more other people. I want to do a documentary style, and I want to ask other people about it. So I guess this would be a good chance. And then, so I want to know what your opinions are. If you enjoyed these, if you prefer those over the ones when I'm alone, because I know me being alone usually gets a lot of, it's boring. I'm not gonna lie, I get bored doing this by myself. I prefer being with others. I I enjoyed all the episodes I interviewed with everyone. They were very fun. I hope I'm eventually able to interview my boss, technically. And some people don't know him, and I'm not going to say his name just because I don't want to be associated. But if you follow me on Twitter, then you'll know. But that's... Oh, yeah. What else was I going to say? I completely forgot what I was going to say. I had to pause for a second. I know some people can't tell I paused, but I paused because I was thinking. And I don't know what I was going to say. Actually, I'm going to pause so I can actually understand. So I can get back in track. Yeah, I just remembered what I was going to say. So I want to know what you guys enjoyed, what you guys dislike. I know a lot of people don't listen to the ones on Anchor because I have an ad playing. I tried to fix that. It's just I can't really explain myself. I'm not gonna lie. I play ads because I play ads, But let me know what I can improve upon, what you guys like, and will enjoy seeing or listening to. And I'll prove upon that, and then we'll just see where this grows. And if you like the podcast, please follow it on Anchor. That's where I usually want to grow my audience. I know YouTube is completely different, but hope you guys enjoy it. And that's it for now. Thank you all for listening, and until next time.